you've spoken about humanizing people with opposing beliefs instead of caricaturing them. I think often we do that on the internet where someone has a different belief and we make a caricature of them and then attack that instead of humanizing them and understanding where they're coming from. And I'm wondering, like, can you share your insights on how you approach that? How do you humanize people with different beliefs?
Gosh, it's really hard to humanize people. It's I think probably the most difficult thing people can do. I'm actually writing a piece right now, and it's about this topic, and it's about the piece itself is about bullying, and I was bullied a lot as a kid in different ways. I was bullied from when I was in 4th grade, and then when I was a teenager, like a young teen in like 9th grade, and then I was bullied also my junior year in a way that was much more sort of like subversive, and it was a lot of technology based sort of stuff. So it ended up being more serious as I got older. But what happened was, especially by my junior year where I was being bullied, I started to realize that the people who were hurting me were suffering in their own way. And while it was not right the way that they were treating me, I began to pity them. And then now, like 10 years later, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, they were going through a lot of stuff. And that does not excuse them. But I can understand why they would maybe feel like they needed to protect themselves in that way. And that came out in the way of, oh, all right, I'm going to hurt Gabe now. And as an adult, I'm able to see that. In the moment, I think it's really, really hard to see that and hard to treat people who are treating you poorly kindly. However, I think the best way to humanize somebody is, put yourself in their shoes, and then it's the actions you take afterwards. It's not just, all right, yeah, I can empathize with somebody. It's what you do once you've empathized with them. So one of the things that I've done to heal sort of some of the bullying stuff that I've had, and it's not every bully, I've not reached out to all of them. My goodness, that would be its own thing. But I have reached out to these girls who have bullied me. I've reached out to a few of them and have had conversations that have ended quite positively because I was able to say, hey, this really, really hurt me when I was a kid and I'm okay with it now, but this is something I needed to deal with and I didn't like the way that you treated me. And then I felt betrayed in this way. And, we were able to talk things out and it ended up being positive. And so I, from that, kind of learned sort of some stuff from it, of like, all right, yeah, it's what you do after you've empathized. I think that's the key. And that looks different for every person and situation. And when it comes to more fraught political issues, possibly, or social, cultural stuff, I think that's where we need to be even more understanding that everybody's perspective is completely different. And be open to varying beliefs and perspectives.